That brings us into TV shows. In TV, we have the second reboot of a Matt Groening cartoon coming back. We have some Star Trek shows in trouble, as well as a new TV series. I keep wanting to say live action. It's not live action, but a new TV series for a very, very popular video game coming out very soon. So let's start. Welcome, nerds, to the TV news. That's a little ambiguous, don't you think? This is a clip that is taken from the larger Week in Nerddom that gets posted up on the main YouTube channel at Generally Nerdy, or youtube.com/Generally Nerdy, however you have to go about it. This section of the news, we're talking about TV shows and episodic shows on streaming networks. I'm still working out a way to say that isn't such a mouthful. Either way, it's going to be TV shows, right? That's how this works. And so let's just get into it, shall we? First with trailers, because we have no corrections or follow-ups. We do have trailers though. Futurama, the new season over on Hulu, drops July 24th. This is, I'm pretty sure it's the second reboot, though part of my brain is going, no, it's the third. I'm like 98% that it's the second reboot. Either way, it's gone from Fox to Comedy Central, and now it's on Hulu. And it's still great. Like this trailer definitely shows that we haven't really missed a beat. Everybody's coming back, and it's the same Futurama you know and love, and that's not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. From there, though, we have one other trailer to talk about, and it is the new DC documentary mini-series, I believe. It's the DC story called Superpowered over on Max. It will be coming out July 20th, and just looks like a pretty interesting. I mean, I'm also the kind of person who's always trying to learn things, especially learn things about the stuff I'm interested in, comic books being one of them. So yeah, of course I'm intrigued by this. There is not, it is not without, I guess I should say, a little bit of controversy from the behind the scenes stuff. There's people getting a little bit upset about that. We will be keeping tabs there because I think that deserves a little bit more research before we really dive into it. But yeah, go check out the trailer. I'm probably gonna watch it just because comic books and history and learning, and super stoked. All right. From there, let's talk some regular ass news. We have Paramount Plus coming in the news, coming under fire a little bit because they're pulling Max, and they're getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff, not the least of which being Star Trek Prodigy. Star Trek Prodigy will be removed from the Paramount Plus app next week. So if you haven't watched it yet, now is your chance. Otherwise, you got to sail the seven seas, if you will. It's the part of the merger with Showtime. That's what's happening here. So when Warner Brothers merged with Discovery, something very similar happened, and then they rebranded their streaming platform. This is the merger between Paramount Plus and Showtime. So they have to make room. I don't understand why. Like, it's not costing you money to host this stuff necessarily. So I don't know. But yeah, so that's what we got there. Next up, we're talking about Among Us. It has been announced that Among Us, the espionage game of cartoon men wearing silly suits, is getting an animated series. I don't really know if the CBS Studios is who's putting it out. So it's going to be telling a different story than what we get in the actual game. I've never actually played Among Us, so I didn't know there was a story. I thought each game was a story unto itself, but again, never played, so I didn't know. So yeah, it's going to be 10 episodes long. It's going to target a young adult audience, obviously, because it's a game show, a show about a video game. So that's who the gamers are, right? Is the young adult kids. And then the animation style is going to be very similar to the game itself. And the series is going to be an all new original story that circles around two gamers who play the game, I believe, if I'm remembering what I read correctly, and then they get sucked kind of into the game, into a different world, and it just sounds very strange, and at least something that I'm going to watch the first 3 episodes of. So there you go, there's that. That is what we have for the regular ass news. Let's talk now about suggestions here in the TV section, and TV suggestion this week is The Bear. Season 2 just dropped on Hulu, and watching season 2 was a little bit akin to a religious experience for me. I've been doing food for a very, very long time at different levels in different types of restaurants all throughout the industry, and this show just speaks to me. So if you are curious what it is like to work in a restaurant, this is probably the closest that anything Hollywood related has come to representing that on the screen. This show is fantastic. And on top of that, not only is it great for that reason, but like it's just incredibly well done. Jeremy Allen White is a fantastic actor. Coming out of Shameless, it was a question whether or not he could like carry a whole series, and he absolutely can, though he doesn't need to because the rest of the cast is also phenomenal. So I cannot gush enough about The Bear. Go watch The Bear. If you haven't watched season 1's fantastic. Season 2, that much better. It's probably the best television that we've ever had ever. Just great. Go watch it. Once again, nerds, this has been the TV and streaming news for the week, taken from the main show, The Week in Nerddom, which is posted on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Thank you for joining me here, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.